Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to Summit Railway and to my garden railroad project. Today I've got some switch motors to show off, 21 of them to be exact. They are the Massoth EVO-S switch motors, which are servo driven, and that's the key feature I'm looking forward to, because my teal switches have a tendency of feathering switch rails, and those switch motors can provide constant pressure to the switch rails to counteract this problem. So let's go outside and install them on my layout. Now let's have a look what comes in the package. We've got a manual and the switch motor itself. Pretty straightforward. What is missing are the mounting screws. I bought those separately, and that's basically it. So let's go in and install this. We are going to tackle this switch first. We've got a wire for the switch right here and the switch motor, and now I will go ahead and install this motor. You simply go like this, put it here, and now we can put in the screws. And that's it. Switch motor is installed. Mechanically at least. Now we need to tackle the wiring. I was going to solder those wires together, but I forgot something really important. I first need to check in my signal box which wire this is. So what we are going to do is connect those two wires like so, and now I can use a multimeter in the signal box and test continuity, so I can figure out which wire this is in my signal box. So here's the deal. As I was installing this, I was able to sort the cables, so I know that these are all my switches, but I don't know which wire goes where. So as you've seen down there, I've tied the two wires together. I've put my multimeter on continuity test, and now I'm simply going to measure until I spot my cable. Oh, and there it is. You can see we've got continuity between the two wires in this cable. So now I know that this is my switch, which I'm working on right now. And now I will go ahead, use some white insulating tape, wrap it around here, and write down W for Weiche in German, switch, and it's number 8. So, and now I know which switch this cable goes to. So let's go ahead and solder on the connection. Since I'm controlling all of this digitally, it doesn't even matter where the wires go. I can switch them like I want to. So making sure it's properly connected, slide over the shrinking hose And it's done. Okay, so far it's going really well. I have installed 7 of the switch motors. Now I should be doing this one, but I only got one cable for 2 switch motors, which is no problem because I'm controlling it digitally. I would need only one cable for all the switch motors. But since I'm tying these 2 switch motors together, I need to program them first. Otherwise, I will program both of these the same way, which I don't want to do. Like I said, I need to program these 2 switch motors right away because I will tie them into the same wire which is going to the signal box. So after I soldered them together, I won't be able to program them one by one. The only problem is I have never programmed anything for the Garden Railroad. I have a good friend, he helps me out a lot, and that's what he does. He's very good at this, and I never even had the idea to program myself. But today is the day. I am going to try it. I've got the manual for the switch motor, I've got the manual for the controller, which tells me how to program at first. I've set up this central station to the programming output, so these wires go to the programming output and will tie to the switch motor. And yeah, that's the whole setup. On the back I wrote the digital address, which I'm going to use. And yeah, that's it. Let's try it out. So first we need to power up the system. I don't need a manual for that. Okay, we do have power. Now we will connect the switch motor. That's not what I was expecting. So let's try something else. I get in trouble right at the beginning. That's not good. All right, now you can see. I can't see anymore, but you can see, that's good. Okay, let's go to decoder programming. Oh, there it was. One down, CV program. That's what we want. CV number. Let's see here. I've got the manual of the switch motor. CV41. Okay. And we need the amount. So this is switch motor 10. I want to have address number 10. And now we program it, I suppose. CV41. Oh no. CV program. Okay. CV number 41. Okay. Amount 10. Okay. Now there is a error, not an error, and how do you call it? A check mark. Yes. There's a check mark and now it should be done. So we can go to 42. Oh no, I don't want to program this. Go back. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Program. No. CV. Read and program. Okay. CV42. Okay. And now we are reading. Maybe. Yes. And CV42 is 1. Oh, no. Guys, I made a mistake. 42 is the address we want and 41 is for the high address. So, again, CV 41. Okay. Amount 0. Okay. Okay, now we fixed it. CV program. Okay, CV number 42 this time, that's correct. Amount is 10, I want the address of 10 in there. And now it should be programmed. So let's test this out. Second function, Schaltbefehl, yeah, no. Schaltbefehl 10. Not 1, 10. Enter, how do I enter? Okay, this is screwed up. Let's do it again. Okay guys, I found the mistake I've made. It is pretty obvious. I was on the programming side of things and now I'm going to the track side. I have number 10 in there and if I press the button it switches. That's nice. So there are two more things I want to program. Right now this switch motor is able to move freely after the switching action. And as I told you earlier, the most important feature about this is that it can apply constant pressure even when it's not switching. And this needs to be programmed as well. And the second thing we want to program is a programming lock, so that later on nothing can be programmed unintended. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So I will put this in the programming outputs again and then we will continue the programming. Right now I'm reading in the manual. We need to program CV50 to the amount of 1. This will change the free movement to a constant pressure after the switching. So let's see what we have learned. Go here, programming. We want to program CV. We want to program 50. And the amount is 1. And now we want to write it. Okay. I don't know. Let's see if we can read it. Programming CV50 amount is 1. So it should be programmed the right way. And now the second theme, I want to set the programming log. We need to change CV15. At first we will look what CV16 says. So CV16, okay, and this should be 101. And it is. Okay, next step. No, not the right one. CV15. Read, this should be 101 as well, so the decoder is programmable. Now we need to change CV15 to a different number. It doesn't matter as long as it's not 101. So let's see. Program CV number 15. We want to change that to 100, let's say. When I'm looking at this the right way, it doesn't matter as long as it's not 101. So let's try 100 and let's program it. And now we shouldn't be able to program this decoder anymore. CV, let's say CV50. Okay. Let's say we want to try to change it to 1. Look at that, there is a X which tells me that this was not successful. It seems to work. So we've set the right digital address, we set the constant pressure, which I will test right now, because this one is not right at the moment, but I guess as soon as I will tie it into the right system, not the programming output, but the driving output, then this will lock up, I hope. And we've set the programming log. If all went well, we need to type in 10. Okay, it reacts and it has constant pressure, which is nice. And constant pressure is applied. Yes, that's great. It seemed to work. This is number 10. And now I do the same thing for number 9, and then we can go outside in the garden and install those 2 switch motors. Let's go! Okay, I have moved my programming setup outside so that I can program all the other switches. Now that I know how it's done, it will be an easy and smooth process, so let's get started. By the way, this is my programming output, which I can simply connect into here, and this one, currently isolated by this Vago clamps, is my track output, so I can easily switch between one another and test the switch motors. Let's start with switch 11. Can simply connect right here. Okay, here we go. Go to menu, programming, CV 42. It is switch 11. That's the address, and now we can write it.
One eternity later.
I made it! All the switches down here are programmed to the correlating numbers on this plan. And if we look outside here, every single switch is installed, tested, and it works properly. That's a huge success for today. The track inspectors are happy as well. The last task of today is to backfill all this mess to make this station area look pretty again. And then we are ready for the next project. It is getting dark outside and I'm finished for the day. Look what we got accomplished today. It looks like 3 days ago, but we now have a lot more functionality. The switch motors are installed, programmed and tested, and the only thing missing is signals. Every stone represents a signal. Besides of this one and that one, those cables are for lighting. Okay, it's looking pretty good. We will see us in the next one. Bye.